So let's say you're trying to clean up a model like this, and I would like to have something like this. I want to put a bevel on this edge, maybe about like this. So I'm trying to select the loop here, and you can see it's stopping here because of bad topology. So I want to show a way on how to clean this up in somewhat of a fast way, not necessarily the best for the topological flow, but it gets the job done fairly quickly. So here's what I need to do. I need to chop up this end gun right here so I can get this edge flow to continue past this point. Now I could do this, of course, in a manner of different ways, but this is the way that I want to show you today. So I'm going to go to a top view, and I'm going to look at this in wireframe, which automatically turns on X-ray mode. Go to point select, and I'm going to use the knife tool. And so this is maybe the trick of the video. Did you know that the knife tool has the ability to cut through the entire part? So that's the main part of this. K for the knife tool goes like this, as typical. Let's hit enter there. Come back out of wireframe, and you see it cuts, but it doesn't cut through on the back. So if you do with a K and then a C, you're going to cut through the entire part. So watch this. It's really important that you are on the proper view. So in this case, I said top view, but whatever part you're working on, you need to be looking straight down that. You can't have any discrepancy. It can't be tipped a little bit here like this. Otherwise, it's going to get messed up. So I hit K, there's knife tool. Then I hit C. Nothing's going to change. Just kind of have to trust that you hit it. Get right over the point. Don't slip, because if you slip, you're going to make a whole nother line right there. So I click and I bring it out here. Now, if I needed to go exactly on one of the axes, you can still hit X or Y to go that way, but I don't need to do that. So I'm just going to go K, C, get on that point right there and bring it out to here, and then hit enter, K, C, that one right there, and hit enter, K, C. Now, a lot of times it doesn't matter if you extend out like this and you just real quick bring it out here and then you hit enter. However, there's a surface out here, so this will end up making a point. So you got to stop right on the line. Okay. Now, if you look, you see we got it on both sides. So that's really nice. Now we'll get out of wireframe mode, and I should be able to alt select that edge around here, which gets me down to this point, and then I need to continue chopping things up. So when I get to this next section here, I have to think about how I am going to connect all these things together. So you could just get the job done. There is a minimal amount of effort that you could do to get the edge to flow all the way around here. However, if, as in this case, I want to make a little bit of a bevel here, you have to kind of change your strategy a little bit, because if I were to, for example, just look at, like, say, maybe this is going to be my start point right here. So then I want to connect this point to the next one, and so on and so on. Let me just go ahead and show you. So now if I come back out here and I'll start over here, I'll hold down Alt and I'll edge select this one. Now you see it flows all the way around. So that is, in a way, the job done. I want to be able to get the whole edge there. However, when I try to bevel this, I can't get much of a bevel because this right here is too small. I don't have enough room. So I really need to change the entire strategy on how I'm going to go about doing this. So what I'm going to end up doing is bringing all of these 5 here out to somewhere in the middle, and these 5 will go out somewhere maybe also out there. We're going to make sure that the line off of these verts pulls inward enough that gives me enough room to create the bevel that I want on this edge, which, by the way, is not very much, but it's a little bit more than what you just saw there. So we'll go ahead and undo all that. We'll try it again. So I might start kind of like this, and I haven't done this yet, so I'm not sure exactly if this is what I want to do or not. One thing that I usually feel like I want to avoid is connecting these all to a central point, like one giant megapole. Make sure, like I said, see, I'm on the line right there. Make sure you get right on the point. For some reason, that one's a little bit tricky. So I kind of feel like I like to have this sort of offset of this curve up here somewhere, and then everything connects to it, and then I'll solve the rest of it. So I might not be worried with the problems in topology that are inside here, I might just want to get my bevel on here. So kind of keep that in mind. So that's really all I wanted to show right here. Of course, I'm going to fix this up. This is functionally not an issue, but aesthetically, I can't really let this sit. I'm probably going to connect this here and connect another line here. Do something, at least make it look a little bit better. Kind of torn between the most perfect edge flow and just really getting the job done. So the main things here were you're trying to alt select an edge and it's getting stuck at some certain point. It might be things like you have got n-gons or a pole there. Of course, you could have verts over verts and you didn't know, so don't forget about hitting A and do a merge by distance to see if you've got anything over the top of another thing. And then if you do have to fix the topology to get that to flow on through, remember that if you're planning on doing a bevel to this edge, don't get the verts so close to the edge that you can't create the size of the bevel that you need.